Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. We got breaking news out of T-Mobile. This one wasn't hard to figure out. As soon as I saw that SpaceX was going to be buying the AWS-4 spectrum, right? Naturally, by default, I knew T-Mobile, they would have been stupid if they didn't pick up the phone and call Elon and try to work out a deal, right? So I knew that, right? Of course, it was speculation at the time, but it just makes sense, right? Until it changes, AT&T and Verizon are in partnership with AST, and I believe Verizon is doing something with Skylo as well for texting, right, on Androids. Until that changes, the only partner today that Starlink has now is T-Mobile and Boost, right? Because that changed with this deal, right? So let's take a look here briefly, and these talks could very well fall through, right? Don't get me wrong, but T-Mobile is in talks to lease some of the spectrum rights that SpaceX plans to acquire, according to people familiar with the matter. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So this is not hard to figure out, right? Elon is going to need a terrestrial partner to make his direct-to-cell work, right? So, and then T-Mobile is going to want the better version of his direct-to-cell. They're not going to just sit back and be okay with the PCS 5 megahertz blocks. No, they're going to renegotiate a new deal to be a part of the more bandwidth that direct-to-cell will provide in the future with the next generation satellites. So this just makes sense. It's by default, I think it makes sense, right? So, and who knows what Elon's ambitions might be future-wise, right? Who knows? Maybe they do create a cell phone and plans and everything else, and they sell it literally direct to you from the satellite, right? But at first, he's going to need a cellular terrestrial partner. And I think that naturally becomes T-Mobile. They're already partners today, and I think they just renegotiate a new deal. I think that's what it will be. And T-Mobile being first in line should be a surprise to no one. They're already in partnership. So this one for me wasn't hard to figure out. Again, like I said, the talks could fall through, very well could, but I don't think so. I think they make it work, right? I think they meet each other in the middle somewhere because they need each other. T-Mobile, as we know, they still have a lot of gaps out there, right? We've seen it on camera where people are going to terrestrial areas where Verizon and AT&T have coverage today, and people are connecting to Starlink with T-Mobile. This is a better product, right? Look at T-Mobile's marketing. Look at how they're marketing the T-Satellite. They're going to want to be on the better version of that product. There's no way they're not. Maybe they include their PCS in that too. Maybe the next generation satellites are going to have that AWS and the PCS, right? And T-Mobile is looking to lease some of that for the terrestrial network, it seems. So it'll be sort of like a reciprocal roaming. So this just makes all the sense, in my opinion. I don't know how you can look at this otherwise, right? Elon is going to need partners and customers to load up that network to monetize. And Elon can easily make money off of T-Mobile. So it makes sense. And I think as this deepens, right, Verizon and AT&T are going to look at this, monitor this very closely. And they are very likely to sign up too. They're going to have to from a competitive perspective, right? AST is nowhere close. I was in a conversation last night. AST is nowhere close to launching even the beta. They're not even close. So if T-Mobile hits the ground running with this new partnership and they get out the next generation of satellites, even before AST gets commercially going, that's a red flag for Verizon and AT&T. They're gonna have to just sign up with Starlink at that point, because there's gonna be too many use cases, too many businesses that are just gonna leave and switch to T-Mobile, and T-Mobile is going to really infuse marketing with if they can get this deal signed, which I think they're gonna have to negotiate and just make it work. I think that's what Mike Sievert and his team are looking at, right? They're on the phone, they're in talks. They got to make this one work. This would really give them an edge, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.